Good afternoon, good evening, good day, and welcome to Reed's Learning Street. Today, we are glad and appreciative to be able to get to speak with the athlete representative of Detroit All-Star Aquatics swim team today, Miss Aubrey Young. Would you please introduce yourself and let everybody know how they can get in touch with you?
Hi, I'm Aubrey Young, the student representative for GASA. And now that I am a part of Athlete Rep, most of the time it's, reach out to me through GASA email. And yeah.
Great. Thank you very much. All right. All right.
Now that I am a part of Athlete Rep, most of the time it's, reach out to me through GASA email.
Okay. Great. Thank you very much. All right. All right. My apologies, technical difficulties. Okay, so how young are you since your last name is Young?
I'm 14.
14. Okay. So what school do you attend then?
I go past him going.
Say that again for me.
Cas Tech.
You said it so fast I didn't hear you clearly. Okay, so Cas Tech. Okay. How long have you been swimming?
I've been
professionally
since I was 6, but competitively has been since I was 8. So yeah, a long time.
Okay. Well, so how did you get into it then if you said 6?
Well, at that age, I had just started school. And honestly, I was just finding a way to stay in shape. Because at that age, I guess you could say, I just wanted, to just be active. Because I wasn't really an active kid. And everything that I tried, from cheer to tennis, basketball, dance, it wasn't for me. And then we finally found swim, and that was the one thing that I just enjoyed and I stuck with.
Okay. So because you wanted to be active and have some form of athleticism about you, that's how you got into it. Okay. So then, okay, before we go there, who or what are your role models or your major motivation?
Well, when you ask most people those questions, they tend to have someone that they look up to who swims. I won't necessarily say that there's a specific person who I idolize, but one person that I really do look up to is my parents. Well, two people are my parents. Seeing that, like, they had to raise me from a young age, and seeing how much they invest into me, it makes me want to push harder.
Okay, those seem like some very really good role models. I would have to say. Okay. Okay, so you said you go to Cas Tech High School.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite subject and why?
I would have to say speech class. Now, when you hear that, it probably comes weird because it's like a speech class, and that's where you're learning to talk. And that's what most people think. Like, I even thought that, like, coming in, I thought that they were literally teaching me how to talk. It's like that, but it's in a more valuable way. It teaches you how to speak in front of large crowds and how to play around with your words using pathos, logos, and ethos, into like making a speech, how your body language should be, how your voice projecting should be, and just it helps you when you have to, because a lot of times we all get scared, like talking to people like this. This is scary, and so it's just like it just helps you move through that fear.
I see that you've taken a lot from that class because you doing this with no problems, no issues at all. You know what I'm saying? You moving through it like you flowing like water. So I think the speech class is doing you very well, very well. Okay. Um, how do you well, so you're an athlete representative, right?
Yes.
That means you represent the athletes on your team.
Yes.
So how do you motivate them to get them going when they don't have it for that day?
So motivation is really something that you will always need from within. But like I am, as you say, athlete rep. So when I see that someone isn't having like much confidence or much motivation in themselves that day, I not necessarily try to be there to give them a bigger push, but just try to understand what is the problem or what is the thing that is causing them to feel less motivated, because you can't necessarily be a person who motivates someone else if you don't know what is causing them to lose motivation. You must know
Right.
why are you feeling unmotivated. And most of the time when people are motivated, it's simply because they don't want to come in that day. It's days where you don't want to come and you don't want to work out, but those are the days where you have to really put the work in. On the days where you don't want to be.
Okay, I see why. I see why you are the athlete representative. You do have that motivational get up and go about you. Okay, so that's going to lead me to my next question. Now, I've heard you referred to as the mother of the team.
Oh my gosh.
How did you get that title? Well, obviously, I'm starting to see a little bit, but now I want you to go into it a little bit further for me, please.
Okay, so as you know, as I said, I've been swimming competitively since I was 7, 8. So over time, my bossiness has been taken from me just being like very demanding, and which I can be, and I like being in control, and I like being able to help people or let them know this is not right, and this is why it's not right. And it's not necessarily me, trying to be in control, because I know I'm not their parents, not their real parents, but it's just like when they're there, I do feel as if I have to play the big sister role, or as if I have to be that person to let them know that you need to stay on track or to stay focused or to help them get through certain stuff, because there's certain stuff that as kids we might not come and be able to come and tell our parents. So me being that person where they are going through certain things or when they don't feel the best, they come to me, because a lot of them even have bonds or relationships with me before I even have this thing. So I feel like I feel I feel like being on this team and having the status that I have, it takes a lot of responsibility to just own up to it, but it's also the fact that I'm able to live up to that responsibility and I'm able to do it naturally. I don't have to force it. So it's not something that I have to constantly reassure myself that I'm doing right, because it's natural to me and that's just how I am. So I feel like as a person, I don't think I'm the mother, but I do think that sometimes I can be bossy. And it's not just, to push anybody's buttons or just to make fun of anyone. It's because I truly care. Your audio went out.
My apologies. I can feel the nurturing that you actually just naturally carry. Like you just grab and they're gravitating to you. So I can see how you would be the mother of the team. So how do you create community support for your team and the endeavors that your team has for the future?
Honestly, that really started with our coach. Coach Jay, the way he is, when you come in, you're automatically family. And from being around Coach Jay for a certain amount of time, it has made me feel as if when new people come, that's how they should be welcomed. They should be welcomed as we're a big giant family. It shouldn't be anyone being left out. And even outside of swim. Like we do a lot of activities outside of swim to partake and make us a community. Because we're not just the pool. Like that's not all we are. As a team, we are more than that. Where we have bonds, very tight bonds, friends, best friends, everything. And it's just being in that environment and being around those people, because it's just like after being around so much good energy for so long, you take in that energy and you want to spread it to other people. And so I feel like having the coach that I am very grateful for, because there aren't many people like Coach Jay. But because I have been around him so long, I have partaken in a lot of traits that he has, a lot of good traits. And it really helps me build character. It helps the team build character. So, yeah.
Okay. So speaking about character traits, then, which of your character traits have assisted you in your success with your swimming and your team?
Well, I'm the person where I have had many bumps in the road. I have had many injuries, and being in any sport, when life becomes too much, the sport can also become too much. So having to deal with like my own personal and mental issues, and also like injuries, like I said, I'm just now getting back in the pool. Like this is my second full week being in the pool since my last injury. So it's just every time that I feel like I want to give up, it's the people around me who help motivate myself, because I'm not always my biggest motivator, even though I tend to look to myself and tell myself that if I'm not my biggest motivator, that no one else can be, because it takes for you to believe that you can do better to actually get better. So that's one thing I do admire about my team, that when I feel that I'm weak or at a weak state, they always come and they punch in and they help in. And I feel that they actually make me stronger. Like they have really made me build a lot of character and a lot of muscle, a lot of inner muscle than outer. Because you have to be tough on the inside in order to be tough on the outside.
Yeah, I suppose so. Swimming as much as y'all swim, and as you say, getting injuries, and you only being swimming now, the past couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're a part of. You also are on the championship swim team.
Yes.
Your school won the girls' champion. For swimming. Congratulations. I feel honored to be able to be talking to a champion. Okay, so I know you've got a lot in your future. So where do you plan on being in the next 5 to 10 years with your career in swimming?
Swimming will always be something that will have a piece of my heart. But everybody who swims, they don't swim to go to the Olympics. They don't swim to necessarily swim for the rest of their life. Now, if I get the opportunity, I get a full role scholarship. Oh, let's do it.
Right.
But my goal is, by the time I'm out of high school, I want to be going into a HBCU so I can study law. But if that swim scholarship is what's going to open more doors for me, then that's what I want to take. Because I feel if I have the options for me, then why not go grab them instead of waiting on them to come? Because yes, it takes a lot of time for a good opportunity to come. You might not want to take the first one that is thrown at you, but I feel it's better for me to get it earlier than later, because there's no telling what would happen. So I just think that by that time, if I have a scholarship, which I will, because I'm planning on doing that. I want a scholarship in swim. I really, really do. Because if I don't swim all of my years of college, I at least swim 1 year in college.
Okay.
And if that's what leads me on the path of success, then I'll surely take it.
Okay, so what would be your major other than swimming?
I want to major in law. I want to do family court.
Family court. Okay, so that's a specific area. Okay, I can dig that. Speaking of family, do you have any siblings?
Yes, I have 3. My youngest sister she's actually going to turn 2 in March. And my other 2 siblings are 26 days heart. And I have a sister. I have another sister named Journey. My younger sister is Zaria. And Journey and Carter, which is my brother Carter's brother, they both swim as well. Journey doesn't swim on the same swim team as me, but my brother does, and he loves it there. He is like, he's the big self motivator, and he is very hardworking. Like at his age, it is what he does is phenomenal, and I feel like what he does is basically impossible until he has done it. Like he likes to do anything. If he can play any sport, he will. But this is the one sport that both of us just truly enjoy and truly know that we would never be able to walk away from.
Wow. Wow, that's good. That's what's up when you got that kind of passion.
And it makes you want to work harder as well, because it's like, I know I have my siblings looking up to me. Because now I'm not just a role model to my team, but now I'm a role model to my family. And I never thought that they were going to want to swim. I didn't even think they were going to like to. But as a baby, Carter was actually just like me. He used to, do the little bubbles in the water. And it was just like, we knew that if anything, he was going to swim. He's tried football, basketball, everything. But swim, it always calls him back.
Okay, so trick question. If you could be a superhero, what would it be? Who would you be? And what would be your superpower?
My superpower would be, I want to be able to read people's minds, not to just know everyone's business, because I know a lot of people take that the wrong way. I want to be able to read people's minds because sometimes you can't necessarily explain certain feelings, or you can't explain certain things that you go through, or certain things that you're facing. And if you're able to read someone's mind, then you will know the best way to help them. Even if you can't help them, you probably know that who should they get help from. So for you to be at least to guide that person through that situation, I feel like that's very important.
Okay, that's what's up. Okay. Well, speaking of being able to read people's minds, then how do you handle stress and balance your swim life with your school life?
That is a great question, because that is what I am going through now. Because coming into high school, it has scared me, but it has been fun at the same exact time. Like coming from middle school to high school is a big jump. It's not as big as people make it seem. It's what you make it, really. And I feel like that's how the rest of my life is going to be. It's going to be what I make it, and whether or not I let it stress me out is really my choice, because I can either go the way that I know is going to let me stay peaceful and not just happy, or I can go a whole other path which will lead me to stress. And I recently figured that out, just yesterday. I figured that out, and I really had to sit and think about it, and just think about, if I keep going down this path, what is it going to lead me to? And being a teenager, I know that we go through a lot of changes and a lot of things that we don't understand, and we don't necessarily have to understand, but we would like to. It's just certain things you can't control. But if you can control it, it is best for you to try to prevent it. And if you can't prevent it, then it just has to be. That's why I have a quote, mean all is well, meaning not just to mean, oh, everything is going to be okay, but to accept it and keep pushing and keep moving on positively and not letting anything.
I like that. All is well. I'm going to have to start using that eventually. All is well. I like that. Okay. So can you describe a typical Tuesday in your life from the time you rise till the time you lay down and rest? What do you do in a typical day?
Tuesdays are one of the hardest days of our weeks when it comes to work. But a regular Tuesday for me, I am waking her up around 6 a.m. like every day. If not 6 a.m., it's 6:30 a.m. And I'm getting dressed. I love taking morning showers. I don't know what it is, but at nighttime, it just does not feel as good as the morning time. In the morning time, I feel so much better. After I take my shower and I get ready, which it probably takes me a good almost half of an hour to get ready. I don't know why, but it takes me minutes to get ready. And once I get done getting ready, during girls' season, I'll wake up around 5 a.m. on a regular Tuesday, and then I'll go to morning practice. But on a normal Tuesday, which has been recently since the girls' season is over, I just wake up, get to school, and once I get to school, I get through my school day, and because I'm very, I guess you could say, known to staff, I'm usually like helping out until it's time for me to go to my practice because I'm also the team manager for the boys team at Castor. So I have to help out with managing their team, and I also do like a lot of helping out around the school, like with the events, like basketball events. Yesterday I helped what is it called? I helped with a cheer competition. I helped get it together, get everything organized. And I feel like every sport is really different. Every sport is really different. Like from basketball, football, cheer, you don't know that sport until you go and actually participate in it. Because cheerleaders, they're some of the strongest athletes. Some of the strongest athletes. You see them tumbling, they be fumbling, they be all the way up in the air, and it takes a lot. And I feel like I'll probably never be able to cheer because it just takes so much to be able to do that sport. But yeah, and after that, after I'm done helping out or I'm done doing my jobs, I go to practice. And after practice, it's kind of hard for me to get like in my work and stuff like that because it's just like once I get home, it's 9 o'clock. And I got like an hour until I gotta go to sleep. I go eat dinner. So I really have to fit studying in either right after I get out of school or as soon as I get home, I get straight to books. And I don't have homework every day. We mainly have work that we don't finish in class because going to Cass Tech, you get a lot of work. So they don't convert to give us homework. But once I get home, and if I do have time, I'm definitely studying, especially because finals is next week.
Wow, that goes back to the handling of the stress and balancing the swimming and the school and the additional sports and activities and everything else that you're doing. You're handling it very well. I applaud you. Not many could do what you are doing. So, what made you fall in love with swimming, so to speak? Because I heard you mention the other sports. How did swimming grab you?
Okay, I've always wanted to dance. I love dancing. I can dance all day. But when it comes to getting up on the stage, oh, you take me right back home. I can't. Once I get up there, I don't necessarily have stage fright. It's just I immediately start to overthink. Like, okay, you gotta make sure this is right. You gotta do that. You gotta do this. And it was just like it wasn't enough for me. And like cheer, I cannot flip. I don't want to be in the air. I don't want to be. I don't want to do any of that. Now swim, and I'm also a tomboy, so certain girly stuff I'm not into. And swim, really, I've always had I feel like I've had this little connection with water because I just love water. I love the way it sounds, I love the way it moves, I love the power it holds. And I just felt like once I'm in the water, I felt in control of something. And if you know me, you know I am a very much so control freak. And so if I can control it and it makes me feel good by myself, then that would have been something I really wanted to do. And it's fun, like, especially when you're doing the right people. It's really, really fun. Now we have our bad days, and then just because we have fun does not mean we don't get disciplined. But we have fun and we enjoy what we do.
And it's a good workout.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Being the athlete representative for DASA, what has that taught you for you to take with you in life?
It has really taught me not to be taken in the wrong way, which I did take at first, but simply to grow up. Certain things after a certain age you can't use as an excuse, nor can you do simply because you used to get away with it when you were younger. And now that it's like I'm not just a big sister to the people that I go home to, I'm a big sister to a big family. Like when new people come, who they coming to? They coming to me. They're going to Aubrey. They say go see Aubrey. I be in the locker room. I be somewhere. Sometimes I even try to hide. Like, oh my god, another one. But like it's something that has really taught me a lot about life. And I never thought that the little things would have the biggest impact. And that's also has been something that the team and having this position on the team has taught me. Because with growing, that means maturing. And necessarily growing up does not mean you have to become grown or that you have to grow up fast. It just means you have to learn to mature and how to mature at your own pace.
I feel that. Okay, so how has being on DASA, a part of this big family that you speak of, how has that enhanced your life?
It has taught me to enjoy every moment and don't take it for granted, especially because when COVID hit, everybody else was in the house, everybody else was off to themselves, everyone else were literally living inside of this pandemic inside their bubbles. We had our bubbles, but we still got out the house. Every day, even in the summertime, we was at Belle Isle, we were swimming in the lake, we were doing, everything was socially distanced, but we were still getting out, we were still getting active. We were still spreading love to each other. We have always supported each other. If you ever needed anyone, you can go vent to coach, you can go vent to the staff, you can go vent to any other coaches, you can vent to any other kids. It's always just felt like they're truly family. You might even feel as they're more of a family than your real family. And that has been something that I really learned to grow with because yes, we have our ups and downs, we always will, and no family is perfect. We all know that. So it's just, it has really taught me to be patient and not take anything for granted and to really be patient with myself. Because when you're not patient with yourself, how do you expect to be patient with anyone else?
Right.
That's like, they really push me to go hard. And like, even when I'm doing good, they're like, all right, but you know, you can always do better. And you can take it how you take it, but I know how to take it and push with it. I know how to use it and use it as energy to fuel on. And they have really helped me because, like I said, I've had injuries and I've had ups and downs. But when you have that team and you have that support, you never feel that you're at your lowest because there's no possible way.
Okay, all right. Okay, so you keep mentioning your coaches. I know that your coach, Coach Jay, is known for his quotes, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us one of your favorites, please?
Well, there is a lot of them. Like a lot. There's something that there's hard to remember. It's like, wait, what did you say this time? And before I even tell you my favorite quote, I remember because I'm a big quote fan as well. I had this quote that I had been saying for almost a good week, and he wrote it on the set, and I felt so good. I was so amazed. I'm like, are you serious? It was on the quote, had my name on there and everything. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, it really felt as if it was just like a big honor, a big opportunity. I had never been on a work set, like on a work little sets before, because we have our sets documented on a paper.
Okay.
Food, and it was just like, really, me? So yeah, and one of the things that have really stuck with me that Coach Jay said is the only way to go fast is to go fast. Meaning that the only way to push through is to simply push through. The only way to get what you want out of it is to go get it. If you want to go fast, you have to be prepared to be fast. And once you're fast, nothing else should be able to pull you back. And it's not all about being fast as well. That like he has taught me that it's not all about just being fast and just racing. It's about growing with yourself and learning how to use your body to get to where you want to be.
It seems like that can apply to life as well. I like that. Okay. All right. Tell Coach Jay what up. That's what's up. What up, dope? Okay. All right. Tell us something that everybody needs to know about Aubrey Young.
Um, I am very different. A lot of people say that I'm the old lady of my generation, or that I have an old soul, because I don't dig all the other stuff that a lot of people dig into, and I also like I don't like a lot of this new music. Like I understand, like sometimes I'm listening to the older people, my elders' conversations, and I feel like I can agree with that because sometimes all they want to do is talk about the new drug that came out. I'm like, what's this? I had to make
Right.
it back for a minute, and so it's just like I feel that a lot of people think that I'm so mature, but it's not that I'm mature. I do things the smart way, and I actually think about doing it because I'm still growing as a person. I'm not fully mature. I'm only 14, so it's just like I I know how to conduct myself with certain things that a lot of other people don't know how to do, and that's just what makes me different. Because I don't let a lot of things hold me down, and a lot of people in this generation they fall into like a little sadness streak easily. But I don't allow myself to get sad. I don't allow myself to sit in one emotion too much to the
Okay.
point where I feel that I am depressed. So
Okay.
I learned that, especially because of the people who I'm around, that I can always push past it.
It sounds like you've been here before.
Yes.
See, you already know. Okay, so is there anyone that you would like to thank or speak to, or if you could talk to anyone or say anything to anybody here, what would you say? Or you have the floor. Go ahead.
I would like to thank my favorite people, my siblings, especially my siblings, because I'm starting to notice and realize how valuable my attention and my love and care is to them. And I know that I'm not perfect, and I know that I make my mistakes, but I love just watching them grow as people. Like not even with certain things, just as people watching them grow. And also my coaches and my parents, because I know that my parents, they've been with me since the womb. So it's
Right.
just I feel like I really have. If I don't have a point to prove to anyone, it's to that. Not that I'm a failure. I don't believe that my parents think that I'm a failure, but that I'm here to prove a point, and I'm here to leave my mark, a mark that they probably didn't get to leave. And I like to thank my coaches because when I felt that I didn't have nobody else, or when I was scared to come to my parents about something, I could always come to my coaches. And there has been many times where I had to sit down. I'm like, Coach Jay, what do I do? Coach Rasul, what do I do? And one of our new coaches, Coach John, I came to him about one of my experiences that I've had. And I feel like as an athlete, you build this bond with your coach that I felt that I have with my coach, Coach Jay, who is probably my favorite. He might just be my favorite. But Coach Jay has kind of been like a second father to me, like throughout the years, because I'm with him every day, and like he doesn't. He spoils us, but he doesn't play favoritism, and he always tells us when we're wrong. He's literally like that father figure that you have, like a plus father, basically. It's like another dad.
The
And
bonus dad.
yeah, so it's just like it's good to be around those people.
That's good. I'm glad you were able to join me this afternoon to be able to share your story to success, your pathway in setting footprints for your siblings and those behind you to walk through. You are the epitome of what I say a beautiful role model is.
Thank you.
And I'm just as ecstatic to even know you and to be a part of your journey as well as I'm sure anybody else is. Thank you so much for giving me your time today. I thank everybody for joining us to be able to get the words of wisdom from this beautiful young queen to be, as they would say in one of the movies. So have a great day whenever you catch this, and we appreciate your time. Thank you for. Oh, say that again.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Again, you are so very well spoken. It was easy. You made this easy for me. Okay, so thank you. Have a great day, everybody.